Hello and welcome to another weekly Stewards Wrap. My name's Cody Winnell and I'm joined in the studio by HRV Chairman of Stewards, Nick Murray. G'day Nick.
G'day Cody. And
we're back after a 1 week absence, so apologies for that. We've had people in and out of the office, so we're back into it now. And remember the email address that you can ask questions to anytime. If you've got something out there on your mind or you see something that you're not sure about, ask the stewards at hrv.org.au and we'll endeavour to either bring it up on the podcast or Nick will endeavour to answer that question via email. So without further ado, Nick, let's get into this week's program. And firstly, we're going to look at Melton on Friday night, Tabcorp Park. We had the Vicbred semi-final night for Pacers, and there was some jostling that I picked up on in the Stewards report. And it was in a race which involved Chris Elford on Courageous Call and Nathan Jack on All in Your Hands. I think it was race 3.
Correct.
We'll roll the footage. Could you just talk us through it, how you saw it, Nick?
Yes, so as you've referred to, there was a case of jostling down the back straight on the final occasion in race 3. Mr. Nathan Jack, driver of All in Your Hands, was positioned out wide on the track, approximately 4 wide. Mr. Alford on Courageous Call improved to his inside. They both contested and jostled for a position to follow Celebrity Guest in the 3 wide position. Stewards consider that Mr. Nathan Jack was the cause and the initiator of the jostle and persevered with that jostle for a significant distance, and therefore he was fined the sum of $500, and Mr. Alford contributed to the jostle occurring, and for his part in the jostle he was fined the sum of $250. Obviously Stewards took into account the level of blame and culpability on each party, and that was reflective in the penalties on that occasion.
Sure, and those horses went on to run Chris Alford's horse 10th, Courageous Call, and Nathan Jack's horse 9th, All in Your Hands. So there was punters would have seen that on the vision, that jostling. Moving on now to a different topic, Nick. Saturday night we had a delay at Kilmore. There was a cart change needed to be made to one of the horses. The club cart, it didn't seem to suit for whatever reason. You might be able to fill us in a bit more as to what the issues were there. Why did that result in such a lengthy delays, and is this a bit of an issue that the stewards are looking at and trying to work through at the moment, delays? Because as we know, we want to be on Sky 1 wherever we can, and anytime there's a delay, unfortunately our product is getting bumped to Sky 2. So what can you tell us about cart changes and the policy there?
Yeah, you've referred to Kilmore on Saturday night. In race 1, Dean Martin, there was a false start declared at the first attempt. Mr. Phillips, the driver of that horse, alerted the starter that the horse had a flat tyre to its American style sulky. The delay then ensued as a result of the club sulky being utilised. That was a conventional sulky which was not suitable for this particular horse due to it striking the wheels, and after adjustments could be made to that club sulky, another American style sulky was then obtained from the stabling area and successfully fitted to the horse. Obviously they're delays that we don't need, as you've alluded to. HRV are considering options as to how the availability of suitable and adequate sulkies could be improved around Victorian tracks.
So it's good to hear that discussion is one that is being had. Heading into the throes of winter, I'm suffering a cold, Nick. I won't get too close to you as I ask these sort of questions, but there's a hot weather policy that we know of, obviously, from the stewards. Do you have a wet weather policy regarding when tracks are assessed for safety reasons, etc.? Because obviously we're going to get more rain and tracks are going to get a bit more choppier as the rain and hail sets in. Is there a policy?
We have a track inspection policy, Cody, and that relates to concerns relating to adverse conditions that may affect racing conditions such as track and visibility issues, fog, lightning, etc. Stewards consult with a deputation of 3 senior drivers to inspect the track for any safety concerns, and therefore testing of the mobile barrier if required, to ensure that the mobile barrier is able to gain sufficient traction, and in consultation with the track curators whether any remedial works are required on the racing surface. Stewards then assess the situation at hand and make a decision if any of the races are required to be scheduled further back to allow for conditions to subside and improve, and ultimately then the stewards make a decision as to whether the meeting can proceed in a safe environment for all participants.
Well, fingers crossed we don't lose any meetings. We haven't lost any so far this wet season, so let's hope that continues. And just to finish off, we've got obviously a big Vicbred Super Series Grand Final nights this Friday and Saturday night. Nick, reminder I guess to participants about the rules in Group 1 races. The rules are the same, but the penalties can differ.
Yeah, correct, Cody. So obviously feature and Group 1 events upcoming. When considering penalties, stewards consider rule breaches and take into account due to the increased prize money on offer, there's clearly more at stake for participants, and therefore any rule breaches in such races would likely will incur more significant penalties than would otherwise be the case.
Fair enough. All right, Nick, thanks very much for joining us once again. AskTheStewards@hrv.org.au is the email if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.